So, lads, one of the biggest NBA stories that we're going to be hearing over the next year is going to be looking at Giannis and antetokounmpo and whether the Milwaukee Bucks are going to go and trade Giannis or whether they're going to try to just hope that he resigns. So, in this video, I'm going to be talking a little bit about what the Milwaukee Bucks are saying they're going to do, what I think the Milwaukee Bucks should do, and what I think the outcome is going to be from this entire situation. So, apologies for not getting videos out in 2 of the last 3 days. I've been sick for the last week or so, but don't worry, Ireland has just basically gone into full lockdown, so don't worry, there's going to be a lot more videos coming up over the next while. I will be trying to get one of these out a day. So obviously, Giannis Antetokounmpo is the back-to-back NBA MVP. Not only that, he has most recently won Defensive Player of the Year. And I know a lot of people like to say you can't talk about him as a top 5 player because he just puts up stats and he hasn't won anything. He's 25 years old. He's the same age as Kyle Kuzma. Let me just say, he's 25 years old. I'm pretty sure LeBron won his first ring at 27. Michael Jordan had not won a ring at 25. Like, Michael Jordan, at 25 years old, had not even made an NBA Finals. So, slander, or it's basically just slander, constantly just trying to, it's basically the current culture of basketball. A lot of people, if you say that players nowadays are good at basketball, you are prisoner of the moment. So it's kind of popular thing to tear down every current player in basketball. Unless their name's Luka Doncic or something, because he seems to be universally popular, unless you're Skip Bayless. But yeah, so Giannis is a free agent next year. So there are rumors anyway about Giannis Antetokounmpo going, not wanting to stay in Milwaukee. I'm not sure how true those rumors are, because when Giannis went to America, the only thing he knows is Milwaukee. There is rumor, like, as far as I'm aware, there was days he stayed over and slept in the training facility for the Bucks because he didn't know where else to go in the country. The only thing he really knew in America when he first went over was Milwaukee and his agent, who spoke Greek. So, honestly, I think there's a lot more of a chance of him staying than people expect, mainly because just being comfortable is the only thing he knows. But it's clear here, Milwaukee Bucks won't trade Giannis, and he could reject a supermax contract and still not get traded. I think that is likely what is going to happen. I think that is very, very likely what's going to happen. The Bucks are not going to trade Giannis. They're just not. They will not trade Giannis. And they would be crazy to trade Giannis Antetokounmpo. I'm saying it right now. They would be crazy. But at the end of the day, I don't think he signs an extension until the contract's up. He might re-sign next season, but he doesn't sign the extension. Milwaukee Bucks have their plan ready if Giannis Antetokounmpo refuses to sign a max deal. Yeah, go for him in free agency. He leaves, he signs. That is the only thing that Milwaukee can do. And I'm going to say this right now. I think Milwaukee are doing the perfect thing. They're doing the perfect thing and attempting to sign, trying to see, is it somewhere here? So it says here, the Bucks will try to improve their roster and next year and show Giannis why he should stay. That is the perfect thing they can do. Because the Milwaukee Bucks roster right now, like, everyone expected to win a ring this year, and I don't know why. Because even though Giannis was clearly better, they lost Mirotic and Brogdon. Like, Mirotic was a guy that on any given year could have been a borderline all-star player. He was a borderline all-star level talent. And he went back to Europe to play at Barcelona. And Brogdon was arguably the best player on the Indiana Pacers. Either best or second best player behind Sabonis, and they were the 4th seeds in the Eastern Conference. So you lose an all-star and a borderline all-star and a 20-point per game scorer, and they were suddenly expected to win the NBA championship with Chris Middleton and Eric Bledsoe as a third option, with no one else really. They had Dante DiVincenzo. Like, I just never understood that. The Milwaukee Bucks, I predicted them. If you guys look at my DBG channel, I predicted the Heat beating the Milwaukee Bucks, and I was right. I didn't think they were that good from the start of the year. I thought they were just a very good regular season team. I'm telling you this right now. Giannis kind of underperformed, but he's not unguardable. You can build a wall around Giannis. It's up to the other guys. He is the same kind of equivalent of a center. You know the way they say you can't win in the NBA with just a center? And they were like, Kareem needed magic. Giannis needs a 1B. Like, you can't win an NBA championship with just having one guy and a bubble all-star in Chris Middleton. Like, you can't win an NBA championship like that. Giannis needs a guy he needs a superstar level player around him because he needs to be able to get space. He also needs a lot of good shooters around him, but Milwaukee have actually done a pretty good job at that. So, in terms of what Milwaukee can do to build around Giannis, I think that getting a Chris Paul type player would be really good. It means that Giannis can play where I think he's actually most effective. He can play as an inside center type player and run the fast break. I don't like Giannis as a primary ball handler. I really don't. I think that he's very, very limited because Giannis relies so much on getting ahead of steam and going downhill that if he's there at the top of the key trying to create with the ball, he's not really going to excel. Whereas I also feel that Giannis is great, obviously, around the basket, and if they can get him the ball closer to the basket, he's going to be a lot more effective than him trying to break down a good perimeter defender on the three-point line. Because at the end of the day, he's a big man. As much as people like to say he's this 6'11 point guard, he is a unicorn. But he is, at the end of the day, he's a big man. So you need to get a really good guard around him. And as much as I like Chris Middleton, but I don't like Eric Bledsoe. I don't think Eric Bledsoe is a good fit whatsoever with Giannis. I wish they got rid of Bledsoe and tried to find a way to keep Brogdon. Mirotic would be a huge addition to that team, but I think a Chris Paul trade could be a really, really big one. But what do I think? Do I think the Milwaukee Bucks are making the right decision not trading him? 1,000,000% yes. 1,000,000% yes. So what can the Milwaukee Bucks do if they trade Giannis? What can they get back from him? They can probably get a great young core, which might be good enough to get them to the 4th seed in the Eastern Conference in a couple of years' time and get bounced in the 1st or 2nd round every single year. You are giving up a guy that has the potential, if he somehow starts shooting, has the potential to be the best player we've ever seen. There is 0% chance you get a guy back that's as good as Giannis. And there's also a 0% chance that you get in a group of players that will help the team to do anything better than be a mid-playoff level team, if not struggling to make the playoffs. If Giannis leaves in free agency, tear it down. Trade Middleton. You can get some assets for Middleton, tear it down. Luckily enough, in the NBA, it's a league where if you're bad for long enough and you're not the Sacramento Kings or... Actually, the Suns look okay. If you're not the Kings or you're the Knicks, you should be able to get enough draft picks that you'll be able to eventually get a lot of young talent. So, what the Milwaukee Bucks are doing is perfect, in my opinion. I think that there is no chance that they get anything back that makes them a championship contender in the next 5 years. So, for that reason, why would you trade Giannis? Why would you trade Giannis to be a moderately good playoff team? To be maybe win a round in the playoffs? Because at the end of the day, with Giannis, you have a chance. Like Milwaukee Bucks, you just never know. If they played Boston, they might have had a chance against Boston. If the playoff seeding had been different, they might have gotten through against Boston. I still don't think they beat the Lakers in the NBA Finals, but if they went and met the Lakers in the finals, I don't think anyone would have said it was a bad season for them. So they just came up against a mismatch in Miami Heat. But at the end of the day, they're making the right decision. I'm 1,000,000% confident of that. Even if Giannis walks and they get nothing back, I'm still confident they're making the right decision. Because if you trade Giannis, you are getting nothing back. You might get a few young players, but at the end of the day, if Giannis walks and you tear it down, you're still getting young players. Cleveland didn't trade LeBron in 2009 when it looked like he was going to leave. He walked, and they go and get 3 of the next 4 first-round picks. And they build up a nice young roster. Even if LeBron didn't go back in 2014, they had built a nice young roster there. So I personally think that the Milwaukee Bucks are doing the right thing. What do I think Giannis leaves? I am, as much as people like to say it's a foregone conclusion he's gone to Miami, I think he stays. I think the fact that, again, Milwaukee's the only thing he knows. He wasn't raised in the American culture of with the Ricky Bobby quote, if you're not first, you're last. Giannis Antetokounmpo, I think, is more likely to stay than leave right now. You just never know. You honestly just never know. I could be completely wrong in a year's time, but I think there's a 0% chance he signs the extension during the season. I think he's going to wait it out till the end of the year, free agency, see how the team ends up. And if it turns out the team gets no better, maybe he leaves. But if the team goes and signs like a Chris Paul, makes a run at the NBA Finals, I think he's more like he's going to stay. And I think that the Milwaukee Bucks, if they can have one more half-decent piece, or if they can have one more high-level piece, if they can add a CP3 or someone like that, or another high-level piece to the team, I think they do make the finals next year. Because depending on seeding, I don't think they beat Miami, but I think someone else beats Miami, and Milwaukee might beat them. A bit of just kind of a weird mismatch. But anyway, yeah, that's the video. Just talking a little bit about Giannis here, just my opinion on the entire situation. So anyway, that's the video. Thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.